Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nekomiiya, and today is the first day of Anime Expo 2025. Anime Expo is an ever-evolving and changing convention, as it is the largest anime convention in North America, so I'm excited to show you what it's like this year. Off the bat, there has been a pretty big change. Normally, the LA Live area with the theater and a few restaurants is separated from the convention, but this year, Anime Expo has actually decided to combine this area with the entirety of the expo. I guess that goes to show just how big Anime Expo is continuing to grow. I've arrived a few minutes before the convention is going to open, so I'm gonna make line and I'll show you what it's like on the inside when I get in there. Honestly, guys, I am blown away by how beautiful everything looks in this new LA Live area. They have food, the beer garden is here, and the decorations are all just so beautiful! This might be a little crazy to say, but walking through that LA Live area with the bubbles and stuff, like, this is already shaping up to be the best anime expo, in my opinion. I made my way to the closest entrance, and although there was a long line, it was moving quite fast. Dare I say that LineCon is a thing of the past. Checking into the convention is really easy. I tap my pre-activated badge and walk through security. At the end of each entrance, there should be a table with a person handing out a tote bag and a lanyard. I recommend coming back daily to see the different lanyard options. Anime Expo is definitely doing something right, because as soon as I walked in after having to wait outside, I was just blessed by amazing air conditioning. So thank you, Anime Expo, for fixing this issue on day one at least. Wow, guys, this year already seems really good. I did enter the convention a little differently than how I normally do. I ended up in the entertainment hall first, and I am going to report that the booths really, for lack of better words, popped their for this. The spaces are big. Squid Games is here. The booths look amazing. It feels like I'm in a mini mall or something. Very cool. In past years, the entertainment hall has seemed a bit small. This year, it seems that they really optimized the space, and it seems a lot bigger than previous years. There's honestly so much more to do now. Be sure to set aside enough time to get through it comfortably. There is so much gacha here, guys. If you are a gacha fan, good luck to your wallet. One of the more cool exhibits that I got to see was this costume exhibit for the theatrical renditions of anime shows. These are the actual costumes that they wear on stage when they're putting on their performance. I'm kind of a sewing nerd, so getting to see these in person was a really nice treat. Copic has been attending Anime Expo as a vendor for as long as I have been attending, which is a really long time. It was interesting to see they had moved to the entertainment hall from the exhibit hall. It's been really interesting to see the different companies that show up to Anime Expo and the things that they put in their booth and offer to their fans. It looks like they moved some vendors that would normally be in the exhibit hall down here to the entertainment hall. Back in my day, the vendors that you see here are the same vendors that would be filling up the Exhibitors Hall. A lot sure has changed. This corner seemed to be reserved for people who had clothing brands. It's really cool to see how this section of the anime community has grown. If you're looking for some anime drip, consider buying it at Anime Expo. Very interesting changes from Anime Expo, but I'm liking them. It looks like they moved the gaming area and the tabletop gaming to this side of the entertainment hall. Not going to lie, I think this is the best the video gaming area has ever looked. There are couches, seats, TVs, retro consoles, new consoles, and of course PCs. This year I am seeing a bigger focus on everything retro. Down here in the entertainment hall there were a lot of retro vendors. ANA seemed to have moved down here too, and of course was hosting their annual Japan ticket giveaway. I didn't make the time to visit it this year, but in the entertainment hall there is still the cosplay backdrops. If you're a cosplayer, consider checking out this place to get some cool backdrops for your photos. Let's take this iconic walkway to to the other side of the convention, aka the South Hall. I love seeing what banners they decide to put up and what anime studios are celebrating anniversaries. You'll certainly be passing by Lounge 21. If you are at least 21 years old, it is a great place to lounge, make new friends, watch some performances, and buy drinks. If you are a cosplayer or cosplay photographer, I highly recommend chilling out in the lobby of the South Hall. You can find a lot of cosplayers hanging out in this area. Speaking of cosplay, I debuted a new one at Anime Expo and decided to attend the fandom's gathering for it. Attending cosplay gatherings is a great way to make new friends who are into the same fandoms and to show off your costume to people who will appreciate them a little bit more than the average person. Anime Expo has no shortage of cosplay gatherings, so I highly recommend checking one out while you're here. Now, let's take the escalators located in the lobby of the South Hall up to the Exhibitors Hall. This space is huge and grants you the amazing opportunity of being able to buy officially licensed merch from the brands that you know and love. Be sure to really investigate what booths are offering this year because you may just miss out on a chance to play a new game demo for free. You'll be seeing a lot of production companies showing previews of works that they have been working on and are about to release soon, as well as some really cool curated exhibits. It is day 2 of Anime Expo, and I have finally been able to tackle the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall has changed a lot over the years. Now it seems that it has really shifted its focus to being company focused, which I don't think is a bad thing. There are still a few dealers here in this hall, but they're kind of off to the side. It is very clear that Anime Expo has made the Exhibitors Hall focus on showing off these brands and these brands showing off new shows that they're working on. There are also a few booths that have places for people to sit down for free, just to chill, like in the Hulu booth that I'm in right now, which I am very grateful for because I just needed a second to rest. I know I've been saying it a lot in this video, but there have been seriously so many changes. From my point of view as somebody who has been attending this convention for like 10 years, it's really cool to see just how big Anime Expo has grown and how much room it still has to grow. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted this huge Crunchyroll booth, but I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to visit that because I am on my way to, drumroll please, the world premiere of Panty and Stocking Season 2. Something else that Anime Expo is known for is their insane premieres. I am currently waiting in line to watch the premiere of the first episode of the new Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt series. There are literally so many people here. It is so crazy. Although the premiere panel was an amazing experience, I do have some criticism to Anime Expo for the way that this line was handled. The line for the event was super unorganized, and honestly, I was a little scared that in the case of an emergency, crowd surging would lead to a lot of injuries. I heard a lot of people who were concerned about the same thing, and some people even had to leave line because people were just too close to each other. Anime Expo, as a long-time attendee, this has always been an issue for your more popular panels. I plead you to please consider the safety of your attendees during these panels a little bit more. I got to walk through the LA Live area during the nighttime, which honestly made it all come to life. Integrating the LA Live area has probably got to be one of my most favorite changes from Anime Expo this year, and is something I wish we had done sooner. I decided to call it a night right there so that way I could prepare for day 3 and the biggest challenge of it all, getting through the Artist Alley. There are always so many amazing artists who vend here, and it always feels like there is not enough time to get through it all. If you are here all weekend, I really recommend setting aside an entire day just to complete it. So, big changes in the Artist Alley at Anime Expo this year. Instead of cutting it in half, the entire hall down here is all Artist Alley. If you've been to Anime Expo before, you already know that getting through Artist Alley was kind of a trek and a journey, but now it is even more so. If you have not been to Anime Expo before and you're going to be coming next year, be prepared to dedicate an entire day to Artist Alley, maybe even more. Out of respect for the artists here, I will not be recording anyone's booth, but I will say, please support your artists at conventions, guys. These are individuals that really hold up the community with art and storytelling and merch. Support them in any way you can, especially by buying physical media and whatever it is they're selling. A pro tip that I have is to bring cash, just because down here, when there are so many people trying to use the internet at the same time, the card readers sometimes don't work. Bring cash so you can support your artists in that way. It is now the 4th day of Anime Expo, and I am using this time to visit the places that I haven't been able to yet. Honestly, this Anime Expo has been so packed, I feel like 4 days is just not enough to get through it all. I kind of wish that they would make it 5. I knew the first place I had to go and visit was the Crunchyroll booth. Oh my god. I truly don't even have the words to describe Crunchyroll's booth setup this year. Truly, it was such a spectacle. It felt like I was being transported to some grand anime land. There were a lot of interactive experiences here, and the displays were just breathtaking. I'm here at the Crunchyroll booth and Anime Expo, and it looks like I'm gonna go digging for trash to find a prize. Very interested to see what this is about. It is a promo for a new anime that's being adapted, so exciting. It felt good to take the time to do something silly and interactive like this. After digging for the perfect piece of trash, I pulled out a takeout container, which I then took to the front, and I was awarded my prize. Thanks, Crunchyroll. Throughout the event, I have mainly been eating off-site, but I did get hungry, so I used this as the perfect opportunity to scope out the food court. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this is probably the worst priced anime convention food I have ever encountered in my life. I know that it's not entirely the fault of the vendors, especially right now in America with all of these tariffs. I know that these vendors have had to raise their prices, but everything was starting at around $22 for a meal. I settled on a poke bowl that costed $16, and it honestly wasn't even all that good. I headed back up to the Exhibitors Hall after eating my meal and tried my luck at this Calico Critters booth. And boy, am I glad I did, because I actually ended up winning the grand prize. Whoa! I truly spent the rest of the day simply visiting the booths I didn't really get the chance to before. It is clear that Anime Expo is expanding heavily, and a lot more people want to get in on the business. I will say though that because of Anime Expo's popularity, they seem to have really optimized everything, and although this is not the same Anime Expo that I fell in love with and attended many years ago, I will say that I personally think it has gotten infinitely better. On that note, I will say that it is quite disheartening and disappointing knowing that Anime Expo cut a lot of fan-powered events to achieve this. If you are looking for a more community-focused event, I cannot recommend Anime Los Angeles enough. It wouldn't be a convention guide series if I didn't give you a breakdown of what I spent, so here are the numbers. My portion of the hotel for the entire weekend was $281.15. On day 1, I spent $29 on merchandise from the entertainment hall. On day 2, I spent $288. I did kind of go crazy in Artist Alley. I did also spend 90 of those dollars to treating my friends to food outside of the convention venue. On day 3, I spent $151.50, mainly on items found in the Exhibitors Hall and food inside the venue. On day 4, I spent $14 on sticker sheets. I will be honest, this is the most amount of money I have spent at Anime Expo, mainly because I went crazy in the Artist Alley. I'll be sure to include a picture of my haul so you can see everything that I got. Do you think it was worth it? Let me know in the comments. Overall, Anime Expo was a very fun time. I can see the work that the staff is putting in to make this experience a smooth and enjoyable one for all of its attendees. Out of all of the anime conventions located in Southern California, Anime Expo is certainly the most expensive one. If you are someone who is planning on commuting, go ahead and watch my last year's Anime Expo video for information on what resources are available to you. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed my content so you can see my future convention guide videos. See you at AX next year!